Hi there, people. How are you? This is Pray Love, and today is a video about this cologne fragrance right there, Armaf Milestone, that I have. I think I bought that a year and a half ago, something like that. Um, so it is a cologne fragrance. It's an Armaf cologne fragrance, and you understand it just by the view of that Club de Nuit bottle. It's a Club de Nuit fragrance. So what is it a copy of? And this one is marketed as a feminine fragrance. It is in fact a clone of Millésime Impérial by Creed. Now, I'm going to admit something that is pretty sad. I never actually smelled Millésime Impérial ever. So I cannot tell you that this is amazing. In fact, perhaps I smelled it like once, but I when I smell Creed fragrances in general, like either I did like Aventus and I got myself a little sample of it, and I think I only did that with Aventus. Perhaps I did I do it with like Green Irish Tweed. I don't even remember, but I think that the other way I got into like Creed fragrances was through stores, and they kept pushing me to smell all sorts of Creed fragrances at the same time. So I'm like, yeah, Viking, Millésime Imperial, or whatever. I was like, I just smelled them bombarded by tons of Creed fragrances, and I was never really um, impressed by any Creed fragrances I ever smelled. And that says a lot. It's a bit sad at some point because I there's tons of hype over Millésime Imperial and Silver Mountain Water and Green Irish Tweed and whatever and whatever and whatever, and then I'm like, and the only one I got a sample of was Aventus because I wanted to do comparison videos of Explorer and Aventus and Club de Nuit Intense Man and Aventus, and I'm probably gonna do it for Millésime Imperial just for the sake of like doing the video, but Aventus and every Creed fragrances, like they have a quality to it. They're amazing fragrances. I think overpriced, yes, and perhaps not as good as people say they are. They're very kind of simple for like the price point. I think I like having very simple fragrances, but I don't like paying a lot for them. Because it's it's probably a similar kind of quality to it. I don't think that the Creed juice costs that much more to make because of the ingredients or because of the whatnot. Um, but that's my opinion. I probably there's gonna be like people that just love Creed so much and they're gonna tell me, and probably they're right. Like probably like it's worth the price, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do think that um and I like there's some fragrances that I like that have like designer sensibilities, if you want to call it like that. Percival that really smells like Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce, but it does smell like a lot more quality. When I got Aventus, I could tell that there was a lot more quality going on with the ingredients compared to Club de Nuit Intense, Explorer, or L'Aventure. But was it that much a better fragrance? I'm I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But this one, is it good? Because it's got like a bit of hype recently. I was pretty surprised because I bought that like at random at some point. I was just trying out different fragrances from a cheap, like super discounted fragrance mini shop and just getting something to go to work because I was bartending. And This one is actually very, very good. I thought initially, like the first splash of it, like I got to test it. I was like, this is amazing. And then I tested it on skin, walked around for half an hour, and I was like, extremely solid fragrance. Extremely solid fragrance. And um, it has like this, what we would call, like the watermelon, salty watermelon opening. And it's like dewy and juicy and sweet, but not too sweet, and it's a bit salty, and it's I don't know how to tell you, like you should try it because it's a very like amazing. It has a muskier kind of dry down. Uh, like for what season? Like could I recommend that fragrance? When I bought it, it was actually winter, so I kind of associate it with Christmas that year because I was wearing it. It's a really great fresh fragrance for the summertime, the winter time, because it packs a punch. It's really um, good for the projection. It's a bit too much. In fact, I wore it like last day and the other day, and my wife was like, "Smells good, but it's very intense." And I just did 4 sprays of it, so I think it's like go easy on the trigger. Perhaps 2 sprays for me would be very good. But my skin projects a lot, so I don't know with your skin, will it project that much more or whatever. And this fragrance is very cheap. It's an Armaf fragrance. Don't buy it for more than, I don't know, 40, $50. More than that, no, don't even bother. I'm pretty sure that Americans could find it for $25 US easily. I think 25, $30, something like that. Canadians, 40, $50 would be easily like easy to find. But you can definitely find it cheaper than that. You can also go to like Kijiji and marketplaces of this world and find it. And then, okay, this one, but in summer, is it good? In summer, it's amazing too. You just go easier on the trigger than you would in winter because the particles will get in the air a lot more. The humidity is more there, more present. So yeah, in the summer, go easy on it, but it's still a very good summer scent. It's actually, I think most people intend it as a summer scent. I think it's an all year round fragrance though, and I think it does have a unique kind of quality that make you stand out. Because in a world where, if you're a guy and you see all those guys wearing 1 million and Invictus like fragrances and Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel and stuff like that. Having this fragrance that is like sweet still, but not in the same way as Invictus kind fragrances. It's kind of musky and there's like still an unbroxany feel to it, but not that much, like to make it feel like a Sauvage or whatever. And it has like this very unique kind of fruity. I can say that for me it's like watermelon, and I've heard it a lot on the internet too, that like the salty watermelon. I think it's pretty accurate, but it's like a fruity note. It's like a red fruity note, and it smells exactly like its coloration. It's a kind of a pink gold kind of a vibe, tingling, sparkling, effervescent vibe. It's very unique. Okay, so yes, perhaps it's not that unique because it's a clone of Millésime Impérial. I don't know how Millésime Impérial compares to Milestone. I really don't. I'm gonna find out eventually when I get to it. But in the meantime, if you want to get this one, it's a lot cheaper than the Millésime Impérial. I'm pretty sure that buying myself a decant of Millésime Impérial will probably be like not be cheaper than this fragrance. It would probably cost me more just to get a decant of it than actually getting Milestone. But yeah, the juice is actually very, very good. The bottle is amazing too. I really like the pink gold coloration. I like that you can actually see the juice inside from the, from around the kind of hole around the medallion. Um, the interior is very, very nice. There's like, batch codes and information, usual stuff. The cap is like it clicks there. Um, you can actually like it's a pretty cheap cap, but it looks good. It looks kind of like a domino. You know the drill with Club de Nuit Intense fragrance. Um, and yeah, it's marketed towards women. I think Millésime Imperial is unisex. I think this one is very, very unisex. And for women, it's also very interesting to own because it is very different from a lot of. I think that a lot of like feminine fragrances are pretty obnoxious. Very super intense, very, very sweet, almost cloying. It's like almost headache inducing sometimes. And it's women that wear fragrances the most, and when you get like um, walking down the streets and you get like super big whiffs of Good Girl or those kind of Flower Bomb is pretty cool, but and Good Girl too, but it's the dose, like the doses and stuff. But anyway, in a world of like very, very bright florals with a lot of sweetness and vanilla and a lot of chemicals going on, this fragrance is a lot simpler but very effective. It's very, very effective. Women would be wearing that, and it would stand out. Like it's not a straight floral at all. It's got some floral undertones like most fragrances out there, but it has like a bit of the floral thing going on, more in the mid. It's fruity in the top. Has that watermelon type characteristic, red fruit type characteristic. It's very effervescent, kind of like champagne, kind of like strawberry champagne. Also, I would compare it to that. Very, very alluring, super sexy. I think it's unisex and very sexy and unique in, and it reacts to skin a bit differently. Also, yeah, I tested it on myself. I've seen people wearing it. I've tested it like on my sister. It's always different. It's always got something else going on, but all have like this like sparkling watermelon, salty watermelon vibe. It's very luxurious. It's elegant. I could probably rock this on any formal occasions. Um, it has something that's very sensitive, very sweet to it, but still very, very sexy. I think it's a compliment monster. I know that when I wear that, I always get complimented. The first day I was bartending, and people were having like some whiffs and were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I just bought that stuff. It's cool." Uh, yeah, so I I I would recommend like do it. Like get your nose on this thing. It's not gonna cost you much if you like it. Then maybe compare with Millésime Imperial. Maybe you like it even better and you're gonna be like, yeah, this is luxurious. I could pay up to get the most expensive one. I don't have the money to buy myself Creed, but Milestone, yeah, easy pick. Very fun, unique, different. It's cool. It's kind of a hype beast right now. Yeah, if you smell it, tell me about it. Spread love and spray love. Bye bye.